We've got a big box of potatoes right here that you saw us harvest last week. We're gonna make one of our favorite soups, which is loaded baked potato, our favorite to eat and even easier to store. That was a ton of potatoes. We had a pretty decent cold spell come through here for the last couple weeks, and the garden essentially stood still in time and nothing really ripened or anything. The tomatoes completely stopped ripening. We have about 80 degrees, 80 to 85 degrees in the forecast for the next couple days. We should be able to keep pulling some of those off the vine, but we have a couple things we have to get harvested today, including our carrots, and we're probably gonna pull some pumpkins out too.
We don't grow nearly enough produce to fully replace our winter grocery haul, but we hope to eventually. These small wins remind us of the progress we're making toward our goals.
Definitely a significantly smaller harvest than we thought. The carrots themselves, some of them are big, or they're big around, but they're not very long. We went with sort of an experimental variety this year, so we'll probably do something traditional next year, just a long orange carrot. These ones are pretty, I'll give them that. What color you got? I got purple.
One thing we've noticed in this lifestyle is that with every victory, every harvest, there's an equal amount of work required to either cook or preserve what we've grown. You would think harvest would mark a time of rest and reflection, but it really means our work is just getting started. Even growing food on a small scale like we are requires intention and careful planning to make sure nothing goes to waste.
So as you just saw, we got our Azure Standard haul. And it is one of the most exciting days of the month for me because I spend all month shopping and making my order and getting beeswax candles and bee pollen and all of the things that you can't get at normal stores. They have it and it's organic. I really, really love this company and their brand. We have such a large family and it really works for us because we can get healthy, organic bulk food items for a reasonable price. We've been going for a lot of the dried grains and beans and stocking up on a lot of baking staples because as the colder months come, we're making more soups and stews. So this is some of what we got. Couple of things that I'm trying this time around. This is, we've done a couple orders, but I've not got any of the Castile soap, so I'm excited to try this for cleaning. It kind of looks like you can do it for anything. So if you've used the soap, let me know the cool ways you use it. And I'm super excited to get this huge thing of honey. I've been making so much elderberry syrup for my clients and stocking up, and I'd love to can some. So having bulk honey is super, super good to have on hand. And just my kids love it by the spoonful and it smells so deep and rich. It's a really, really great honey option. We got a bunch of dried beans, which we've never really done. We've always just got them canned from the store, but we're trying to really do better at bulk items. And when you get them in this size, they're just cheaper anyway. The beef gelatin was super cheap, and this is great for like gummies, homemade marshmallows, doing like jams and jellies and stuff like this. So as we can more and get into a little bit more creative things in the kitchen, this will be really great to have on hand, and it's super healthy for you, hair, skin, and nails. Highly recommend. The bee pollen, I love mixing this in our parfaits, our smoothies. I kind of sneak it in anywhere I can. In the oatmeal, it is a powerhouse superfood. It is like a staple superfood in this house. I am just really, really excited to try all this new stuff. As I mentioned, I've been making a lot of elderberry syrup as we head into the cold and flu season. I also add honey, ginger, cinnamon, orange peel, and clove to reduce inflammation and build immunity. This tastes so delicious, and you can find different variations online. I recommend brewing some up and drinking a tablespoon a day as a precautionary.
Now we just picked all of these carrots. The hardest part about growing all of this food, especially if you're just getting started, is figuring out how to either use it or store it. Luckily, carrots are pretty easy, so I'm just gonna blanch them or boil them for a couple minutes today, and then we're gonna throw them in freezer bags and put them in the freezer. Now, if we were just gonna freeze these and eat them plain, I would definitely take the skins off, because if you freeze the skins, then the texture can get kind of weird and be a little bit off-putting. We really don't eat carrots that way very much. They're usually in a recipe, so I'm not bothering taking the skins off today, because if it's cooked in something, you're really not going to know the difference.
We wanted to give a brief update on our meat birds, which are growing very quickly. After some quick math, and with them being about 6 weeks old, I'm imagining we have 3 to 4 more weeks before we'll need to get them processed and in the freezer. With all of that meat, plus the meat we got back this week from our pigs, I'm feeling fairly confident with the amount of meals we're heading into winter with.
Now tonight, Jet, 4 years old, almost 5 years old, is gonna harvest his first and very first pumpkin that he grew this year all by himself. He fed it, he watered it, he took care of it, he gave it a shoulder to cry on if it was feeling down, and tonight he gets to finally harvest it. Are you ready?
Over the years, we've asked ourselves whether we made the right choice in homeschooling our kids. It hasn't always been easy, and the doubts come and go, but then we see moments like this, watching them harvest food they've grown with their own hands. In those simple, ordinary moments, we're reminded that we made the best decision we could for our family. Because alongside reading and math, they're learning things they could never be taught anywhere else. From how to grow their own food to how to start a business, they're gaining the skills that will carry them through life and shape the kind of people they become.
All right, we're getting our last little bit of summer harvest here. You can see we pulled some tomatoes out. We got some poblano peppers, jalapenos, some cherry tomatoes. So it is coming to an end here, and I am just pulling the squash out of here right now. Man, those aren't gonna come off with the scissors. All right. Look at this one, Jack. It's huge.